Thanks to those joining me live and to those that'll be joining me and Ashy Knuckles on Archive. What's going on, everybody? Make sure you throw a jab at the like button, especially listening on Archive right now. Press the like button. Make sure the like button turns blue. You're listening to the March 3rd edition of A Puncher's Chance with Ashy Knuckles. I do apologize for the delay. Unexpected emergency happened before I was about to start the show, but here we are. And I appreciate Ashy for being patient and waiting. How's it going, Ashy?
It's going good, man. Usually it's me as the late party. It feels good for you to be the late one this time. So
I was super late though. All right, but here I am. Make sure you throw the jab, of course, and visit mandatory.defense.com. How's it going at the website, Ashy?
website's cool, man. Just trying to keep it updated. There, all the promoters and that I have contacts with, keep me posted with the latest happenings, So as long as they keep posting, I'll keep putting it out there.
Keep updating, right? Absolutely. Yeah. Right. Chief Funky on here says, what's up to D-Style and Ashley? What's going on? We got Joe Lopez, 40 ounces, Cal Enigma, Big Dog Willie. How's it going, everybody? And even some dudes that want to be trolls here. It's all good. Okay, Unbiased Rankings and You says, yo, what's going on? Again, I do apologize for the delay. Let's go right into this, man. Mikey Garcia defeated Jesse Vargas, man. What you think of that performance by Mikey?
Well, you know what, Mikey, after that piss poor showing against Errol Spence, a lot of people became detractors, saying that he's not pound for pound, that he can't compete at welterweight. And I believe this fight is just a statement fight for him, saying that I can compete at welterweight. I just happen to run into another pound for pound guy in Errol Spence. Mikey looked like Mikey. He went in there. He tried to decode the puzzle. He probably waited a little longer than I thought he would, but he wanted to make sure he can decode everything that Jesse Vargas was doing, because the stuff Jesse Vargas was doing was working. He was winning the early rounds, but once Mikey got a read on the timing on his punches and his the variations of the different punches he liked to throw, at which time he began to find the right punches to throw in combination as a counter to it. And once he started lining them up for that swift 1-2, that sneaky jab where he steps in, and before you know it, he's already through that right hand. And he throws it straight down the pike. He don't loop it. He don't come wide. He comes straight with it, and it finds its target. And one thing Mikey did in this particular fight is show not only can he take punches from a welterweight, which he's shown against Errol Spence too. He showed he could take a thunder from Errol Spence. So in this fight, he also got hit with flush shots from a welterweight as well. He took those shots well, but he also showed he can thump with these welterweights, as he would put Jesse Vargas on the canvas. And he did better against Jesse Vargas than a lot of fighters that Jesse Vargas has faced. He's faced the Timothy Bradleys, the Manny Pacquiaos, Saddam Ali, Adrian Broner. He's faced the Khabib guy. And, Mikey did better than all those guys, in my opinion, and he solidified himself as a top welterweight. And only time will tell, will he get another title shot? Of course, they're talking about Pacquiao or whatever, but we don't know. Pacquiao fights who he wants to fight. He's the star fighter at this weight. But this was a signature win for him at this weight. And, good luck to him, moving forward.
I agree. Shout out to Stormy B-Man on here. Cool. He'll be having blood boxing in the Eye of the Storm on Saturday. You guys make sure you check that one out. Okay, Cal Enigma. Mikey timed the shit out of Vargas, especially when he knocked him down. For sure. Marisa Chavez says that she agrees. All right. And G-Funk says he figured out Vargas and hurt him several times.
Yeah, but sure did.
Right? Hurt him several times. And I think it showed. I think the power did go up with him. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And, so we'll see. And that's him. Do you contribute any of the early success of Vargas being maybe some ring rust from Mikey?
It's a possibility. It could be that Vargas was trying to assert himself against who he perceived being the smaller guy in the ring. In his mind, he thought, this little guy has no place in this ring with me. I'm a welterweight. He's just pretending to be a welterweight. So I guess he thought he would just try to, assert himself and show that Mikey don't belong in the ring with him, though Mikey is a great fighter. But Mikey proved that he's not just a great fighter; he's also a really good welterweight. And those great skills that got him on the pound for pound list and made him a household name, at least amongst us hardcore boxing fans, actually translated well in the 147-pound division.
Right.
To find out the hard way, in other words.
No, absolutely, man. I definitely agree with that. Do you have any thoughts on the other fights? As far as Chocolatito, is the champion again, and of course
Oh,
Martinez.
yeah. I thought Chocolatito, he did what he had to do, to step out there and secure another belt. At super flyweight, he fought K Fake, Kufi. I'm sorry, man. I'm terrible with names.
I couldn't get the name either. That's all right.
But the guy is a real super flyweight. I feel funny saying that shit about these little motherfuckers. He's a real super flyweight as opposed to Chocolatito, who's went up weight after weight since campaigning at minimum weight. And I guess he felt because he was a naturally bigger guy in there with Chocolatito, he would go in there and big boy him. Feels strange saying that too. When talking about super flyweights, but it
Right.
didn't work for him because the short, compact, shorter arm reach favored Chocolatito as they were fighting in the trenches. And Chocolatito, he's a very good fighter in close quarters. He's not uncomfortable there in any stretch of imagination. And he puts his punches together up and down like a professional. And he's another guy that's able to decode what you're doing in the ring and find a way to combat it. Um, and he just slowly broke down Kufe or Kayfabe or Kufi or whatever his name is
Yeah.
until he found the good right hand that'll put him down for good and secure victory. So, will we see him go against the guy who beat him twice, once by decision, once by KO, and Rung Vasai, or will he go up against a guy who's arguably another pound for pound guy in Juan Estrada, a guy he has a victory against? And we'll see what happens moving forward. He says he wants to unify all the titles. We'll see what happens though.
Absolutely. Shout out to Cal Enigma, John Marcus Johnson. What's going on, guys? I will say, man, I was impressed with Chocolatito. I thought he was going to have a harder time than he showed, man, and that was a hell of a knockout too.
Mm-hmm.
Got him through the guard, and the guy fought Chocolatito's fight. You know what I mean?
Facts, yeah.
Yeah. So that kid learned the hard way. You don't fight the veteran what he does best,
Yeah.
unless you're better than him, I guess. But yeah, he learned the hard way. That's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Some news this weekend, Ashy. So Deontay Wilder, decide I'm going to exercise basically my rematch clause. So it looks like there's going to be a trilogy here. They're looking. It looks like, at least from some reports I've seen, it's looking around July.
Yeah.
What are your initial thoughts here?
I mean, did we expect anything different? He's a very prideful guy, prideful fighter. He probably felt embarrassed because of the outing last time. It didn't look good, even though we know he's a warrior and he wants to get,
right,
in other words, put down for good. If you're gonna beat him, he's willing to walk through the fire, and that's kind of what endeared him to his fans too, because we already know about his liabilities in the ring in terms of skill set, but he's been able to overcome that because of his toughness, and of course he has knock you dead power. In the last outing, we already know that he was soundly defeated until his corner threw in the towel. And
Right.
he wants some get back, man. He is the laughing stock of boxer right now, from at least in the eyes of his detractors. And he wants to right a wrong. You know, he feels that he was wronged in the fight. He felt like he didn't get his ample amount of time to pull Deontay Wilder-esque come from behind knockout like he did against Luis Ortiz in the second fight. Actually, in both of those Ortiz fights. And this time he wants to, put a stamp on this third fight with Tyson Fury, a guy who's proven to be his arch nemesis in the heavyweight division. And a lot of people feel that it's just going to be a repeat of what we've seen in the first two fights, with Fury getting the better of Deontay Wilder, regardless of who won the first fight or the second fight. It's not arguable that Fury has gotten the best of Deontay Wilder, and they think Wilder is a one-trick pony, and they don't think he can win. But you know what? Before people throw Wilder in the garbage, in the waste can, I want to remind them that a lot of people thought Anthony Joshua could not come back and beat Andy Ruiz, that Anthony Joshua would just get knocked out again, or he would just quit.
Right.
And we see boxing is boxing, man. Boxing will show you some things. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And there are no predetermined outcomes, and not in this sport, man. And
I mean, even the dream match.
Exactly.
No one expected Fury to do that.
No, exactly. And this sport is also a show that if a fighter takes it seriously and makes, significant changes in his fight game, or not even just in his fight game, in his game plan, that the fight can be significantly different the second or third time around. And so I'll say, before people just write him off, give him a chance to show what he got. And if not, at least we know the chapter will be closed for good on that. But I'm glad he's exercising the clause. Joshua got a fight coming up. Everybody's busy. Might as well go ahead and get some get back.
Absolutely. You know what I mean? I think Wilder has a better shot than most people are giving credit for.
Right.
Look, when that punch landed, and dropped Wilder. Now, he was hurt with several shots before that.
Mm-hmm.
But when that dude, a lot of dudes don't even get up from that shot. Okay? Wilder got up, and that fight went on, in my opinion, longer than it should have. But the fact that, we still have some data we can collect. And as I rewatched the fight, Ashley, one thing I keep saying to myself is, now he gets credit. He hurt him with a punch. Like, you know what I mean? I'm not taking anything away.
Yeah.
But Fury couldn't put him to sleep for like 5 straight rounds.
Mm-hmm.
And Fury was landing flush and everything. He couldn't put him to sleep.
Sunday punch, yeah.
He couldn't, so, is it too much of a stretch for me to say, if his equilibrium wasn't off, which I do believe it was, who's to say that Fury doesn't get tired and a right hand doesn't land later on? We don't know. You know what I mean? And hey, it's the name of the show, like a puncher's chance. So, one, he has a puncher's chance. I think he has a little better than a puncher's chance. I do agree with the odds. He's going to be an underdog. Okay. But look, man, I've already seen Wilder hurt Fury.
Mm-hmm.
I've already seen him drop him. It's not something that you can't say it's not possible. So, I mean, we're going to see, of course, but what would you personally like to see Ashley Wilder do here in preparation for this fight with Fury?
I think they need to start addressing a lot of the liabilities that he has, man. Number one, a guy, even though Fury is a big guy, big, tall, rangy guy, Deontay Wilder does not commit to the jab. It's not stiff. It's not authoritative. You know what I'm saying? He's not trying to keep Fury offset with it, but he did throw it really authoritative to the body early in their fight. But upstairs, man, he tries to knock down Fury's lead hand. And he does that a lot in his fights, because once he lines you up with a right hand, he'll pull one of your arms down and level your ass with a right hand. Anybody don't believe that, you can go to my channel and watch the little tribute video I did on Wilder I mean, he does it like 100 times in a row. You know what I'm saying? Because if you get hit flush, you are gone. And he's a believer in his power. But I think in this particular third fight, he needs to put his punches together, man. Quit looking for the big home run. Sometimes you just got to break the guy down. You're in there with a substantially bigger guy. He's wide. He has a lot of mass. Go to the body. He's a slippery guy. He's hard to hit flush in the head. He does a lot of herky-jerky movement with his upper body, but his body isn't moving the way enough to where he can avoid the shots from the shoulders down, but he can avoid it from the shoulders up. So don't make the head your primary target. Break this big guy down. You know what I'm saying? But more importantly than anything, he needs to get back to working on the basics, man. And that's leading behind a good, stiff, authoritative jab. And if they get a read on your jab, start doubling it, tripling it. Give them different looks with the jab. Yeah, give them different looks, you know?
Feint the jab sometimes.
Feint with it, man, because Fury feinted Wilder, and he bit on all of those feints, man. He was biting on those feints, you know? So it's not rocket science.
And you know, actually, the best way to counter a feint is with a jab in the face.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So just utilize the jab, man. And speaking of jabs, you guys make sure you jab the like button. Okay, we're almost at 20. Let's do it. Okay. I want to ask you this: did you hear about the news? Or I shouldn't call it news, but you know, in social media nowadays, everything's news. But Mayweather came out and said he wants to train Wilder. That if he trains Wilder, that he can beat Fury. What are your thoughts about that?
Man, I can't take anything Floyd is saying seriously. For one, if he really thought that he can lend a helping hand to Wilder, I think the right course of action would be to contact Deontay Wilder and talk to him, not go to the damn media, you know, for a punchline. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And number one, I mean, Floyd the fighter is obviously going in the books, but I don't know about Floyd, the actual trainer. You know, it takes a lot of patience to train somebody. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not sure if Mayweather, the perfectionist in terms of, you know, the fight game, is willing to, you know, really go through, you know, step by step on how to improve the little, the things that Wilder doesn't do so perfect in the ring. I don't know if he's patient enough for that. And Wilder is a big personality guy too. I mean, did you see the video that he put out there about getting a rematch? Yeah. I thought he was reciting the Maya Angelou poem. I will rise up. I will fight.
The Phoenix.
Yeah. I was like, what the fuck? But you know what? That's the thing that endears Wilder to his fans.
A dude that punches like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He has an intimate relationship with his fans, man. Your king is here, and your king will rise. You know, I was like, man, this is some wild shit. You know what I'm saying? But I don't knock him. You know what I'm saying? He's a serious dude. His fans love him. That he loved him back. I'm a fan. I love Deontay Wilder, but I didn't need to see that video, you know, for me to get pumped up about the third fight. But it is what it is, man. But I'm not sure if Floyd Jr. is, you know, what Deontay Wilder needs.
Let me give you an example, bro. So, you know, trainer Robert Garcia, right? You know, good trainer. You know, he says he won't train heavyweights because he doesn't know what to do with them.
Yeah.
It's basically a different sport. You know what I mean? It's a totally different animal, bro. Like the approach, the strategy, everything's different at heavyweight. Just like things are different at bantamweight compared to middleweight. You know what I mean? Everything's just different. And what is Mayweather going to show Deontay Wilder?
The shoulder roll? I mean, I have no idea. I don't know what he would try to do to Deontay Wilder.
When have you seen heavyweights like do this like on the ropes and like, you know what I mean? I don't know, man.
Only when James Toney blew up in weight and fought in heavyweight. That's about it.
Yeah, but even James Toney took some big hits. You know what I mean?
Oh, he was tough. He was tough as fuck.
And Wilder isn't going to have Tony's defense in one training camp.
Not at all. Took years to master that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's like saying Tony's going to have Wilder's power in the training camp.
Absolutely, man. Haplotype says Ashley was right with double and triple jabs. Wilder was one jabbing. Yeah, he has to vary it a little bit. Make Fury think a little bit about what he's going to do with the approach. Fury almost had freedom to dictate what's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? He gave him way too much credit there, and I appreciate the support by Haplotype. I appreciate the super chat and everyone that has supported the channel. Right? Make sure you guys visit mandatorydefense.com.
Yep.
Right? Everyone that watches this show, visit the damn website, check it out, and
visit facebook.com/come out fighting. Just like the page, you know what I'm saying? Show support.
Absolutely. I do got to talk to you about
all the events on there. Just pictures galore, man. If that's your thing, you know.
Yeah, for sure, man. So come out fighting. It is right.
Mm-hmm.
So you guys right now, if you have Facebook, all right, go ahead, go to Facebook, come out fighting, join and like the page when you're there as well. And I definitely got to talk to you actually about maybe getting this live feed on that Facebook page as well. We're on here as well, because I can actually do that. So we could do that for sure. You know what I mean? To put that out there. I also planning to put a lot of these on on iTunes and stuff like that. So absolutely, to put that expand it out there. Turbo Happy J, what's going on? And hit that like button. Absolutely, you guys are tuning into March 3rd edition of A Puncher's Chance with Ashy Knuckles, brought to you by MandatoryDefense.com. We're talking about Wilder and exercising his rematch clause, that we're going to have a trilogy. I don't think Mayweather, I agree with you, Ashley. I don't think he's serious.
Let me ask you one question before you break it down. Lineal championship. I believe he's a lineal champion now. I had a strong take. On Tyson Fury. I had a strong take on him being a lineal champ.
Right.
Or the claim. Now I think he's, without question, you can say he's the lineal champion. And I just wanted to get your quick opinion on that.
Look, I mean, I know there was a lot of people saying that they didn't consider Fury the lineal champion before this, and I completely understand that argument. Okay, I'm not even saying they're factually wrong.
Right.
However, I mean, he did beat the man of the division. I mean, in 2015, Vladimir Klitschko was the man of heavyweight. I mean, and if, in my opinion, if you don't give Klitschko that credit, everyone has a right to their opinion, but I think there's a little bit of revisionist to history taking place if you don't concede that. But I get it. You know what I mean? But yeah, after beating Wilder, I think that solidifies it. You know what I mean? Yeah. Because technically speaking, actually, like if he never lost those titles.
Right.
He never lost them.
And the only other champion that was around was Deontay Wilder.
And he had which belt?
The WBC.
And which one did he win?
WBC.
You know what I mean? So I don't blame him when he's like, if you notice, he's very dismissive of AJ. You know what I mean? It's like, that other guy, I got the only title I needed was right here. He feels like Thanos, that he collected everything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I got all the stones. This is the last one I needed. I got it, So, and everybody's saying he's a little quiet right now. Well, the Thanos got quiet after he snapped those fingers, bro. You know what I mean? He got quiet, went to planet all by himself. But Thor did come back and kill him with a hammer, though. Right? So maybe Wilder's coming back to kill this dude with a hammer. I don't know.
Hey,
right?
It happened.
But yeah, man, I just don't think Mayweather's honest, man. He's not an honest actor. It's just a way for him to, put his name out there. It's maybe I'm reaching, Ashy, but I think it's just another way of him reminding people, like, hey, here's another guy that lost. I never lost.
Yep.
And people go, oh, come on, he didn't say it. Come on, you guys, come on.
He's an opportunist for sure, man.
Like this dude, in all honesty, bro, I'm just saying. Okay.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, man, I want to talk about this upcoming fight, man. Kownacki versus Robert Helenius. Kownacki is 6'3", Helenius 6'6", 76-inch reach for Kownacki, 79-inch reach for Robert Helenius. Robert Helenius is 29-3. 18 wins coming by way of a knockout. His best win, in my opinion, is Chisora back in 2012. Okay. Kownacki's 20-0, 15 knockouts, 75% kill ratio. Dude's already 30 years old, 75% KO ratio. His best win, in my opinion, was Charles Martin. Okay. Who by the way, just got a big win against Washington not that long ago. And he also beat Washington, by the way, and Areola. But what do you think of this matchup, Ashley? I mean, I think this is an interesting matchup, but I think predictable in my opinion. But how do you see it?
Well, it's another step up for Kownacki. They're gradually raising up the level of competition bit by bit. The last fight being what was it, Chris Areola, right? Who we already know is a tough guy, and he's going to come to fight, and he's going to throw a lot of punches, and he got deceiving hand speed, especially for a heavyweight, and he passed that test. Kownacki did. He took him the distance though, but he passed that test. And this is just another heavyweight on his way up to possibly securing a title shot against one of the champions, whether it's Tyson Fury or Anthony Joshua. This is a bigger guy, a guy with who's taller, who has more range, and he has a little experience too. And this is going to tell us a lot about Kownacki. But due to the fact that we know what Kownacki comes to do when he comes to the ring, I mean, he's a tough guy. He doesn't look the part, but in my opinion, he is.
Bro, dude looks like he has a toddler's body, bro. And I'm not even trying to be funny.
Weeble wobble looking ass motherfucker. You know what I'm saying?
This dude he has a toddler's body, bro. Like, I'm being honest. You can see it for yourself. There you go. But he has hands though.
He got hands, and he comes to fight. That's one thing he does, and he throws a lot of fucking punches for a heavyweight, man. And you wondering, when is this big motherfucker gonna start gassing? And round after round, he keeps going into second gear and doing what he have to do to continue to win rounds after rounds after rounds. 20-0, 15 knockouts. The sky's the limit for this guy, and I think he really wants it. I think he wants it bad. And this was, like I said, if he beats the guy, I expect him to beat him. You know what I'm saying? Because I see Kownacki as a really good heavyweight. But if he doesn't beat him, then that will let us know that he doesn't belong against the upper echelon. If that's really saying something about the current crop of heavyweights. But you never know. At the end of the day, you still got to get off your high horse. This is boxing. You know what I'm saying? The styles do make fights, regardless of the weight class. And, some people can deal with bigger guys. Some people can't. Some guys can deal with movers. Some people can't. Some people can deal with inside fighters. Some people can't. You know what I'm saying? And, this would just let us know exactly where he is against a substantially, or at least a guy with longer dimensions than he is, than he has. You know what I'm saying? So I like the fight personally. I think it's a good fight for him. And I just can't wait to see it, man.
Absolutely, man. Shout out to Boxing Conversation with Richie Owens on here. We got Hulk Hogan, the Hulkster, showed up.
What you gonna do?
Yeah, what you gonna do, brother? Man, it's going to be good to see him against Andy, says A-Rod, and that's the next thing I was going to. I do think he's gonna beat Helenius. However, I don't know if he's gonna stop him.
Yeah,
because I mean, I don't know. I'm gonna hold off on the stoppage. I think he goes decision. I think Kownacki clearly wins it. toddler body and all. Dude's gonna bring it, bro. And
Yeah.
but here's a fight, man. You remember when Andy Ruiz called out Kownacki before the AJ fight?
No, I must have missed that, man, or just forgot.
Yeah, but this is before like
He won the world title.
yeah, before dude popped dirty and then he got a chance. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
What's his name again?
Gerald Miller.
Yeah, Gerald Miller. Before all that happened, Andy Ruiz was like, "Hey, Kownacki, let's get it on." You know what I mean? So who he was looking at as far as let's do it. You know
Yeah,
what I mean? Before that opportunity opened for him, but what do you think of that fight, man? I think Kownacki versus Andy Ruiz.
I think that's explosive, man.
Yeah,
I can't think of a better fight for either one of those guys. Except for Luis Ortiz. But in terms of pure entertainment and action packed fighting, Kownacki and Andy Ruiz, you can't miss with that. And I think a win would do wonders for both because Andy Ruiz needs some get back, and he needs to knock off somebody who hot that'll catapult him into another potential title shot. And Kownacki just needs another name under his belt that can secure him a title shot. I love the fight. I think they match up quite well. I think damn near almost like well, I don't want to say they don't fight the same, but in terms of because Kownacki got good hand speed too for a big guy. You don't expect him to throw punches like he do,
right.
But Andy Ruiz, I think he may have a little bit faster hands, and he throws a lot of straight shots too, with thudding shots. I like the fight, man. To be honest, man, I think both guys will test each other, and I think at this point right now, that's what we want to see out of both of these heavyweights. Because we saw what Joshua did with Ruiz in the rematch, he got blanked. Kownacki, I mean, so far he's steamrolling everybody. So we want to see if Ruiz can test him, or Helenius for that matter, which remains to be seen. I like that fight, man. I think the winner is definitely in line for a world title fight, and I think Chisora said it best. Derek Chisora said it back. The heavyweights are back, man. It's a lot of really compelling matchups in the plus 200-pound division, man. I'm getting excited about it.
Absolutely, man. And that is a hell of a matchup. There's a lot of people saying, "Hey, Ruiz, stop asking for a title shot, beat somebody," and I think this would be a good guy to beat.
Mm-hmm.
Because let me tell you, man, I'm not saying Kownacki is as good as AJ. I don't believe that, but
Right.
you better be ready for Kownacki because he's not going to outbox you and outpoint you, and he's going to hurt you.
Mm-hmm.
So I do think that's a fight that Ruiz will have to get ready for and be ready for because it's going to be war, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Hogan says diabetes wins the night.
That's going to be explosive, man.
It would be something very explosive. Boxing Dialogue says Ruiz has the fastest hands in the heavyweight division, in my opinion. He does.
I don't know. Joseph Parker got some fast hands too.
Parker does have fast hands.
Yeah,
You're right.
Fast hands.
Yeah, you got Joseph Parker, Andy Ruiz. They're top three for sure. I mean, I'm sure there's somebody that we're missing. Usyk, how do you rate his hand speed? I mean,
he got good hand speed too, but he's just an undersized heavyweight,
Yeah, he's an undersized heavyweight, and I don't know how fast because the thing is, man, like Andy could sit on his punches and they're quick.
Oh, they're thudding shots, bro.
Yeah.
They get there and it's gonna hurt. That's a big boy.
Usyk, like they're quick, bro, but they're not thudding shots.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, man, Marisa Chavez says, I think Ruiz wins that one. Good fight, though. Speaking of, it looks like the rumored fight, actually. Although this is the one I would like to see. But the rumored fight is, at least for a tune-up that Ruiz wants, Andy Ruiz against Chris Arreola. I mean, they're going to promote the shit out of that, bro.
Yeah. I mean, I don't want to hate on the fight, man. I really don't.
I hate the fight.
Chris, he's done, man. I mean, let the man, roll off into the sunset. Quit bringing him back because we know he's tough. You know he's gonna give it his all, but you're gonna get him really fucking hurt. You know what I'm saying? The guy is done. He does not have anything left to offer. Boxing at the top level, at the top of the heavyweight division. In the fight with Kownacki, he gave it his all, but I think he got hurt a couple of times in that fight. But you know how he is. He ain't going down without a fight. And he battled back and ended up, going the distance. And, him fighting against Andy Ruiz, I think he's going to get put down and possibly stopped. And I don't want to see Chris Arreola go out like that. I want to see him go out as a warrior. You know what I'm saying? Bad enough he never won a world title, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, he was never a champion. You know what I'm saying? But he always gave it his all. He was always tough. He coined that phrase I used to say all the time, fuck that, I'm coming back. When go beat the shit out of him. You know what I'm saying?
But he crying,
yeah, man.
He was sopping.
Man. I mean, I don't know if they're going to pay him good money and he wants to get paid. Fine. I'll go ahead and watch it. But man, I think they need to quit. Trying to recycle him. And I think it's over.
I see why they want to do it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Because there's two Mexican heavyweights.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I mean, I don't think it's going to be as big of a fight as people think. Maybe I'm wrong, but I don't. Just because people know that Arreola's washed up, bro. People know this. You know what I mean? It's not like maybe 5 years ago it would have been an intriguing fight,
right?
Even 7 years ago or something. And I agree with Boxing Dialogue. I think Ruiz might hurt Arreola pretty bad because Arreola's defense is not the best, bro, and he's going to be getting tagged.
Yeah.
Like he might do that whole that whole stereotype, take three to land one.
Right. You're not taking three to land one to Ruiz. You better take one and duck the other two.
Right. Yeah, because that's what they're gonna do. Oh, look, the two Mexicans going at it. You know what I mean? And they're gonna promote it. And I think people are gonna be disappointed. I think it's gonna be one-sided, and I don't think it lasts.
Not at all. I think fuck around and get stopped, like I said, man.
Yeah, get ready to stop that fight, bro. That's a dangerous fight, man, for Arreola. Arreola needs to go sit his ass down somewhere. Okay? That or just fight, a certain level of opposition that's not elite anymore. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Do
Sam
that.
Peters.
Yeah, go fight Sam Peter. Sam Peter needs to sit his ass down somewhere, bro.
Yeah.
We need to get a long ass bench and just sit these dudes down.
Yeah.
Give them a retirement package or something. Where you at, Suleiman? Give them some. You know what I mean? Menudo versus Tacos is AJ10. Well, man, these two dudes, bro. I don't know who wins the taco eating contest between those two guys. Right now, I don't know. You think Ruiz got
yeah.
Arreola, he's known for eating too.
Yeah, but Ruiz got videos of himself eating.
Man, so you're telling me Ruiz is better than Arreola in every way, right? He's a better fighter. He's better at eating. He's a better fat boy. He's
better fat boy.
I guess he's a better Mexican because he's the only one that won the title.
Chris Arreola time to the third power, man. Yeah, that's right. And he was the unified champion.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then the Ruiz didn't cry when he lost to Joseph Parker's first title shot.
No, he didn't cry. He didn't cry against Anthony Joshua either in the rematch.
Yeah, no, he didn't. You're right. I think those 10 million, those 13 million, whatever he made, comforted him a little bit.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
He living his best life, man. That's a fact.
That dude is living the life.
Yeah.
Make sure you guys throw a jab at the like button really quick. What do you think of Dubois and his hand speed? Jose Anaya wants to know.
Who? Oh, Daniel Dubois, right? The UK guy?
Yeah, the up-and-coming. He's going to be fighting Joe Joyce.
You know what? I'm not ready to assess him I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know. I don't have an opinion on that yet about his. I need to continue watching this growth. You know what I'm saying?
Now, not to so controversy, but I do want your thoughts here. I just thought about this. What were your thoughts? Have you heard the Larry Merchant monologue?
Yes. When he was on the Fox.
First of all, why is he looking like that dude from Tales from the Crypt? That's number one. But second, what's wrong with? I don't know, man. I don't want to like put words in your mouth or anything. But what were your thoughts on his monologue?
Well, I didn't go left with it like a lot of people did. You know what I'm saying? Where he was talking about maybe that's the end for the Black Hope.
Yeah.
Maybe it didn't come out the way it should have came out, but I think I got what he was trying to say. It is something that I've talked about on YouTube years ago about how all the best heavyweights play for the Baltimore Ravens. Not enough heavyweights, black heavyweight fighters are competing in our sport. And, prior to Deontay Wilder, we really didn't have a heavyweight champion. I mean, we had literally nobody to represent the United States as a black heavyweight during the Klitschko era. You know what I'm saying? Nobody to at least step up to the plate and, give these guys a run for their money. At least be a a guy that helped them solidify their legacy if they were going to go down as greats. We had nobody until we got Deontay Wilder, who just came out of nowhere, and he still doesn't resemble the heavyweights of the past that we've had. So I don't think he was using his opportunity to give his opinion on boxing on Fox on Al Heyman's platform to just diss black people. I don't think that was the goal of what he was trying to do. I just think that it may have not come out in a way that would be not offensive to people,
I don't know. When I first heard it, I was like, what the fuck is you talking about? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's the first thing, I'm not going to lie. That's the first thing I thought of that came out to my mind.
Yeah.
It's like, that's the best thing you could come with, bro. Like, I'm just thinking to myself,
yeah.
I don't know.
Old bastard the benefit of the doubt. I mean, he's 89 years old. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want to say, hey, man, just because he's a fucking racist. You know what I'm saying? If he is, I don't know. Maybe he is, maybe not. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying in that particular instance, when he was breaking down the landscape of the heavyweight division as it pertains to African-American fighters campaigning at that weight, I just think it may have not have come out in a way that would have been not offensive to some. You know what I'm saying? But I got what he was saying because I've made similar points in the past. It's just coming from me. I can say that because I am the group that we're talking about. You know what I'm saying? Just like you could say things that about Mexicans or Mexican Americans that other people cannot because you're of that group. You know what I'm saying? And you wouldn't be offending people because they identify with you. You know what I'm saying? So you got to be careful when you're talking about a different group of people in a certain manner. You got to always be careful. You just got to be careful how you talk about them. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I just think it's in people's benefit to be mindful of the groups that you're talking about, whether you're being critical of them or you're celebrating them, just be mindful because, that race sensitivity shit is real, man,
Yeah, that's for sure, man. And the reason I thought about Larry Merchant was because, we were talking about, and it's funny that you just said it because I did make if someone else made the jokes I was making about Ruiz and Arreola just a second ago, people might be like, what the hell? Because I was saying, oh, he eats better, more tacos than him and all that. But the reason I was thinking about
exactly.
The reason
somebody else said that, I'd probably be like, man, this fucking race.
But,
Yeah.
but I was thinking about Merchant, bro, because dude, I'm not gonna lie to you, man. There is people in the Mexican community that think he's a racist. You know what I mean? And I'm like you. Sometimes I'll be like, I mean, no, I don't know. Like there's some plausible deniability there. I should say.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? Marissa Chavez says he's old. It is what it is. But he is old. But
Yeah. Oh,
dude, I'll never forget, man. Like I don't know if you remember this, but I'm not Chavez. Morales and Barrera. I believe it was a second fight. Okay. Barrera's walking out, and I don't know which one of the two was walking out, but Merchant's talking about like the rivalry that Mexicans have. Like, you know what I mean?
yeah.
Oh, these Mexicans, when they don't like each other, they don't like each other, but in their culture, they're always competing with each other. And I'll never forget, like, when he said, he was giving, like, all these examples, and they're all, like, head scratchers, man. I'm not going to lie. But the one that sticks out to me was like, yeah, they'll be talking to each other. Like, I could eat more chili than you. I could eat more jalapenos than you. And I was just like, what the hell is this dude talking about, bro? Just, and yeah.
Oh man.
Now, but yeah, man, Larry Merchant has said a lot of unfortunate things, but
Yeah.
I think it's fair to say that he's had a pattern for a long time.
Yeah.
That you just got to look at, and it could just be a cognitive, I don't know what I want to call it, bias that he has or way of thinking that he has. But, at the very least, I think he has an old-fashioned way of thinking.
Yeah.
To a certain degree.
Verbally.
Now, setting Larry Merchant aside, what you just mentioned is a very good point. And yes, a lot of our great athletes are playing football. Like, you know what I mean? It's just a fact. Norton's son was playing football. Like, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. If boxing was still king, who's to say he wouldn't have been a boxer?
Yeah.
Just like Mayweather followed his dad and stuff like that. Although I think Mayweather was kind of forced into it from what he says. But either way, but a lot of second generation boxers and stuff, who's to say, Ken Norton Jr. wouldn't be a boxer? Who's to say that Ray Lewis wouldn't have been a boxer? Who's to say that whoever, wouldn't have been boxers? And I do believe that. I without a shadow of a doubt, our best athletes are playing football, basketball. And yes, a majority of them are African American. So it's fair to say that a majority of the heavyweights would definitely have been African American. I think the numbers show that. But who's to say that there's not a white NFL player that could have been, there could be a Tommy Morrison.
Richie Incognito.
Yeah, like
he's a tough bastard. He's just big as hell. He's tough, man. I don't know if he can fight, but I know he's tough as hell, man.
Right, like we don't know they can fight, that's for sure. Yeah. But so it's not just exclusively like black athletes, but it will be lying if we said it wouldn't be majority. It would. You know what I mean? But whether that's politically correct to say or not, I don't know, but it's the truth. But yes, it's just all across the board. You know what I mean? So, and it's not just heavyweight, by the way. Not everyone that plays football weighs over 200 pounds. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's affected in a lot of ways, which brings me to this. With all the CT and brain injuries that's happened in the NFL, you don't think, we could get more boxers then? Like, I know that if less kids play football, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, I think so. And then on top of that, man, the decline in seeing boxing on TV during that certain time period before it start trending again. Like right now, you see boxing all over TV and all over the computer, all over your apps. It's boxing's everywhere. A lot of people who don't watch boxing are talking about it now. When I go into the plant, I hear people talking about boxing. Getting excited about like Ryan Garcia or Triple G and stuff like that. These are MMA
Ryan
fans.
Garcia.
Yeah. and he's an MMA fan. So I'm like, I think the whole combative sport phenomenon is starting to, get traction again. Will we get to the point where we're having crazy pay-per-views like Pacquiao Mayweather? Probably not,
Absolutely.
but it's trending, and that's a good thing. And more importantly than anything, is being shown on TV. So, who's to say that the next generation of big uh, athletic athletes won't gravitate towards the boxing gym as opposed to the football field
Yep.
because of it?
Yeah. Because if you're somebody, you're like, well, they're getting head injuries anyway. You know.
Yeah.
I mean, but I don't know if like I just maybe I'm wrong because I can't picture a parent being like, I'm not gonna let you play football. That's too dangerous. Let me
But
take
you
you to boxing.
boxing.
Yeah, right.
But a lot of parents probably just like, what, football's out, but I want you to learn how to defend
But
yourself.
it's not the same though, Ashley. Like
No, it's not.
a boxer, like when a dude gets hurt, they stop the fight. You know what I mean? You could, you have defense. You're not trying to get hit. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
You could have a fight where you're bruised and stuff, but you didn't take any hit drama.
Yeah,
Um, and the paydays are there if you make it to a certain level. And with
right.
social media and stuff, you can market yourself.
Easily.
Football, dude, those linemen don't got a choice. Every snap, they're running into each other.
In practice or in the game. Yeah.
Yeah. And I am telling you, dude, I know we look at some old school fighters, but look, Chavez is popping right now. He's good. You know what I mean? Holyfield, his speech actually got better. I don't know. I guess keeping him away from the ring actually helped him. You know what I mean? But,
Yeah, yeah.
I see some football players are dying at age 50, bro.
It's terrible. Yeah.
So you could argue it's probably more dangerous than boxing in terms of the long term,
Health
health.
effects, yeah.
Yeah, so we'll see how that goes, man. Shout out to everybody. I see you guys in the chat. We do got to wrap this up pretty soon, so I just want to ask you really quick, Ashley. AJ Pulev, it looks Bob Barham's already come out. Shout out to Joe Habib, and he said it's pretty much done. They're just working out little silly things.
Yeah.
What are those silly things? Do you know? Like, is that like whose name goes first on the banner? Like,
It's the usual shit. Size of the ring, who
okay.
gets introduced. Well, that shouldn't even be a part of the negotiation. AJ's a champion.
Yeah.
We should be able to pick whether he wants to go first or not, or get introduced first or not. It's probably coming down to money at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, or drug testing. You never know.
Yeah, man, absolutely. Jay Dixon says those helmets are a motherfucker. Yes, they are. The collisions are real.
Yeah.
AJ Pulev, it looks like the fight's going to happen. How do you see that fight, Ash? What's your early preview?
I think AJ beats the brakes off of Pulev. I didn't like the way Pulev looked in his last fight. And the way AJ looked, man, I mean, he showed he was rejuvenated. You know what I'm saying? He took training camp seriously, putting himself in absolutely tremendous shape, boxing beautifully. I mean, he blanked Andy Ruiz. He made that fight look so easy, even though he was soundly defeated in the first fight, and he has a lot of momentum going. And you never know what parts of the last fight with Andy Ruiz he's going to keep in his repertoire, that he can always pull that out. If he encounters any trouble in the ring with an opponent, he can always get on his toes, stay on the outside and box, as opposed to, just trying to fight it out with the guy or, sticking with one particular thing. And I think he has a lot to build on right now. He's still a young man to have been a two-time unified world champion. And, the sky's is still the limit for him. You know what I'm saying? I think Pulev, he did what he had to do to earn the shot, but he's going to have to come with it if he's going to unseat the champion. I'm not saying it cannot be done. I'm just saying when I look at his last fight, you're only as good as your last fight. I don't see anything that he did in his last fight that leads me to believe that he can, he's going to beat AJ. But is heavyweight. So we'll see.
I think this is the least risky fight AJ's taken in a while. I think Parker was a better opponent for AJ. I think
Mhm.
maybe not Takam, aside from Takam, but I think Parker was a better.
Yeah.
I think Povetkin was a bigger challenge for him. I think Ruiz definitely was a bigger challenge for him. I mean, we could go kind of on and on here, but I just think this is the easiest fight for AJ in a long time. If AJ does not win this fight, okay, actually, I'm gonna have to figure out this boxing thing. 'Cause I don't know shit then.
Yeah.
If he wins this fight,
I
Anthony
mean, he
Joshua.
was the worst opponents, though. I mean, he could have fought Huey Fury.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, look, he deserves his shot, and he has every right to prove me wrong.
Right.
I just don't think he is.
No, I don't think so.
But we'll definitely get closer to that for sure. Pro Grace Hooker, man. It was announced.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on that?
Now, that should be. Why that's not happening in Dallas, I don't know. That fight is going to be taking place in Maryland. People say it because the last time Matchroom did a event in Dallas, which they must have forgot Mikey just fought in Dallas in Frisco.
Right.
But the Hooker versus Ramirez fight wasn't a whole lot of people there, so I guess they just figured that no one would show up for Hooker and Pro Grace. I just think that if it's properly promoted, with Hooker being from Dallas and Regis being our adopted New Orleans resident for years, he fought in the amateurs here. I just thought it was fitting for it to be in Texas, but I digress. But in terms of the caliber of fight, I think it's a great fight. I hate to think of it as the two losers in their unification fights. Hooker losing to Ramirez and Prograis losing to Josh Taylor, but the fact remains that 140 pounds has some great fighters there, and it's a great fight for that particular division. And just on the outside looking in, I haven't really sized up the fight and the things that they do well and the things that they don't do well. I just think that the keys for victory are there for both guys, depending on the game plan that they bring. If Hooker commits to staying on the outside and using his natural dimensions, he can win the fight. If Prograis close the distance and use his his compact size and shorter arms and big power, and take the fight to Hooker's chest, which Hooker likes to do. He likes to take to fight to the guy's chest and really mix it up, and that's where he ends up getting caught. So that's the keys of victory are there for both guys. It just really depends on who wants it more, who has the better camp, and who executes the game plan. But I love the fight, and they want to fight each other, and that's the great thing about it.
Yeah, definitely, man. That's. I think it's a good fight, man. A lot of people talking about this like it's a foregone conclusion. I disagree.
Yeah,
I think Hooker is going to bring it. And here's what I'll say. Although Hooker already had a fight in between, when two guys are coming off like a big loss, like they had, you know what I mean? They're going to go back to the drawing board, you know what I mean? And no one wants to lose two straight big fights. You know what I mean?
mm-hmm.
So Hooker's like, he's thinking what we're thinking. Like, everyone thinks it's a wash. I'm going to lose. I'm going to, like, in his mind, he's going to training camp thing. I'm going to prove everybody wrong. I'm going to beat Prograis. And Prograis' mind, it's like, man, I cannot lose. I already lost to Josh Taylor in a close decision. I can't lose again. You know what I mean? I can't go. I mean, how much of an effect is it going to have on the guy that loses his fight, Ashley?
Right.
That's on their mind. So to me, these crossroad fights, kind of like when two guys need that win, to me are some of the best fights because ain't nobody. Well, and like I said, I already know that Hook already had a fight after the Ramirez fight, but in terms of meaningful fights, no one wants to lose two straight meaningful fights. So they're going to put everything on the line in that fight. And if Hooker's boxes a smart fight and uses his dimensions, Ashley, That's going to be a tough fight for Prograis.
Yes, I think so. The blueprint is there. Josh Taylor put it out there on how to beat Regis Prograis, even though he had to walk through some thunder. I mean, Regis ain't no hoe now. You ain't just going to just just beat the hell out of him without going through something. But boxing is still boxing, man. The good big man beats the good little guy. If you can use or impose your physical dominance on a guy who's shorter and have shorter reach, you can beat him. And I think that's where I even believe that's where Hooker's best, where his power is from the
Yep.
outside. I think he punches much better when he gets gets extension on his shots as opposed to trying to mix it up and take away the power that he has. So yeah, man, I think it's winnable for both guys. It just depends on what Hooker problem is. He makes adjustments when the fight don't call for it. It's the same thing that Julian Williams' problem is. He do the same shit. You beating the guy from the outside, you beating him easy, and all of a sudden you want to just go in the wheelhouse. So
Like you're winning 6 straight rounds. Hey, time to mix it up. Like,
yeah,
okay. It's almost like I don't know, like they train all these different things, So it's almost like I didn't train to fight on the inside for nothing, so I'm gonna do it now. You know what I mean? Like, nah, bro, it's okay to leave shit in the holster. You know what I mean?
exactly.
It's don't use some you don't have to use. Well, that's just giving more film to your opponents in the future anyway.
Exactly.
Like,
Exactly.
No need to show them, bro. Like we all knew Fury could kind of do because he did it before, but he used it at what he did against Wilder. He unleashed it at the right moment. You know what I mean? So sometimes you gotta wait to unleash what you gotta unleash. Chief Funk says, I don't think Hooker's shin will hold up. Well, look, man, the best shin is the one that doesn't get caught clean. So if he can, if he could put it all together, man, we will see. I also think people are downplaying Ramirez's win. I mean, I think Ramirez is a good fighter. I think he had a good game plan, and I don't think Hooker was ready for that. So
right.
I will say that. One last thing, Manuel Shar, Ash. You think he has an argument for lineal chant? No, that's fine. No, but Manuel Shar, the regular WBA champion, the regular, hasn't fought since 2017, but he's a regular champion.
Yeah.
Don King won the purse bid, bro, for his fighter. Is it Trevor Bryan? I think is his name. Don King still got money, bro. I don't know, like that dude has a lot of money stashed or something.
Oh, yeah. Well, money is not Don King's problem. The problem is contacts, man.
Yeah.
Don King has been exiled in the sport of boxing, man, whether it's the networks or, the who's who in terms of, the suits. They don't want to deal with him. HBO was the first. They didn't want to deal with him. Showtime wouldn't deal with him. Al Heyman gave him an opportunity on one of his events. But other than that, nobody's really trying to deal with Don King, man. I think he's burnt too many bridges in this game, and he don't have no dates, whether it's ESPN, Showtime, any app that's going on. I mean, he literally has been frozen out of the boxing picture. But it's not because he's lacking money. That is what he has a lot of still. But, business is business, man. And when you become bad for business, they find a way to get rid of it. I mean, what's Gary Shaw at? Gary Shaw's not broke. He still has millions of dollars, but we haven't seen a Gary Shaw promotion in years. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So boxing's funny like that, man. It has a funny way of weeding out the people that no longer belong. And Don King's on that list, man.
And ain't nobody waiting for a Manuel Shar fight, bro. Okay.
Nobody's checking for Shaw. Hey,
Man.
I'm going to show you and G Funky did last week, man. That dude had me cracking up with the Guerrero impersonation, man. I was just, oh man.
Well, speaking of, tomorrow you guys can catch Hispanic Panic, and stay tuned for that Baby Nuts of the week. You guys got to check that out for sure.
Yeah, man.
Right. And again, guys, I'm real sorry for coming on late today and all that. For those that are used to the show at a certain time, you could always catch it on archive. I want to thank Ashley again for sticking around and all that. Any final thoughts, Ashley?
Hold on. No, I just can't wait to see Kownacki do his thing this weekend. That's about it. And I thought it was something else that was supposed to be popping off this weekend, but I can't think of it right now. But I guess if it is, we'll talk about it next week. Oh no, I'll be in Jamaica, bro.
You're going to next week? Okay.
Yeah, I'll be in Jamaica. So yeah.
Jamaica time. Okay.
Yeah, somebody has to fill in for me, bro.
No problem, man. Should enjoy the trip for sure. Yeah, absolutely. All right, man. So we got to figure out, because I know Blood's down to come on one of our shows. So
yeah,
we got to figure out the topic and all that. I mean, that'll be some super old school show. All right, but shout out to Blood, by the way, doing his thing. Right, and I don't know if you've seen it, Ashley. He has a documentary of Holmes and Cooney that he put up on his channel.
Oh, that'll be awesome. I haven't checked it out yet, though.
Yeah, great stuff. Great stuff. All right, check that out. All right, this is D-Style Boxing. A-Rod, thank you. G-Funk, thank you. Marisa, thank you. See you guys tomorrow, 10 p.m. Eastern time. I promise I'll be on time this time. Right, unless G-Funk doesn't make it on time. But this is D-Style Boxing. And what do we say, Ash?
Keep it boxing.
Keep it boxing. Peace.